Have you ever just looked at something in the world and thought, that makes absolutely no sense? Well, in this explainer, we're going on a little journey to become economic detectives. We're going to uncover the hidden logic behind everyday life and figure out the surprising reasons why people do the things they do.
Okay, let's just dive right in with a great first puzzle. So, picture this. You're in your car, you pull up to a drive-up ATM, and you notice Braille dots on the keypad. Now, most people driving a car aren't visually impaired, so what's the deal? It seems completely nonsensical, right?
You know that feeling of this makes no sense is exactly what we're going to tackle today. These little puzzles are absolutely everywhere, and by the end of this, you're going to have the detective's toolkit you need to solve them. So, let's grab our first tool.
Okay, lesson 1. This is all about the clue of standardization. And trust me, this is a super powerful idea that explains so many things we see every day, but maybe never really stop to question.
So, let's get back to our ATM. Yeah, it seems totally illogical. But what if the reason has nothing to do with the driver at all, and everything to do with the company that actually made the machine?
And this brings us right to our first key principle, standardization. It's really just the simple idea that instead of making a whole bunch of different versions of a product, a company just makes one. And why would they do that? Well, because it's almost always cheaper and way, way easier. And boom, here's the solution to our puzzle. It simply costs less for the ATM manufacturer to produce just one type of keypad with Braille for every single machine they make. Doesn't matter if it's for a walk-up or a drive-up, this simplifies manufacturing. They don't have to keep track of 2 different parts, and installers can't accidentally put the wrong one in. The mystery is solved, not by thinking about the user, but by thinking about the producer.
Okay, now it's your turn to think like an economic detective. For your discussion, I want you to think about your own habits. For example, maybe you eat the exact same thing for breakfast every single day. Your friends might think it's boring, but for you, it saves time and the mental energy of making a decision every morning. That's your own personal standardization for efficiency. So, what's yours? All right, let's add a second tool to our kit. We've just seen the logic of production. Now let's flip it around and look at the logic of the customer. This is all about understanding the motive of the market.
So here's another classic puzzle. It seems totally backwards, doesn't it? A bride might spend thousands of dollars on a dress she'll wear for one day, while a groom rents a tuxedo he could probably wear to other formal events. Why on earth is that?
The answer is in our second principle, demand and inventory. This idea shows us how what customers expect directly shapes an entire business. It's not about what one individual wants, but about what makes sense for the market as a whole. Now, what's really cool about this slide is how clearly it lays it all out. See, many brides want a dress that feels completely unique, personal and special. A rental shop would need to stock hundreds of different styles and tons of sizes, which would be incredibly expensive. On the other hand, grooms are often perfectly happy with a standard, classic tuxedo. So a rental shop can just stock a few styles and rent them out again and again, which makes the price affordable. So for your next discussion, think about this principle. A great example is coffee. A standard black coffee is cheap, right? But the second you want a customized, unique version with oat milk and extra shots and vanilla syrup, the price just shoots up. The business has to stock more stuff, and the process isn't standard anymore. What's another example you can think of? Okay, our third tool is a little more abstract, but honestly, it might be the most powerful one in our whole toolkit. We're going to talk about the real price of something that isn't measured in dollars at all, your time. Think about this for a second. It's a pretty common observation. Is it just that people in big cities are less friendly?
Well, economics suggests there might be a very different and less personal reason for this behavior. The key here is a concept called opportunity cost, and it is one of the most important ideas in all of economics. The opportunity cost of any choice isn't just about money. It's the value of the next best thing you gave up. Every single choice has a hidden price. It's what you could have been doing instead. So, in a big city like New York or London, wages are usually higher, and there are countless things you could be doing at any moment. That means the opportunity cost of your time is very, very high. Wasting 10 minutes in line or stopping for a long chat literally costs more in terms of lost earnings or other opportunities. It doesn't mean city dwellers are rude, it just means their time is, economically speaking, more scarce. This is such a powerful way to think about your own decisions. I mean, every time you say yes to one thing, you are silently saying no to all the other ways you could have spent that time or that money. Here's a challenging one for your discussion. Think about something like, endlessly scrolling on social media. The direct cost is zero. It's free. But what's the opportunity cost? Well, it might be the hour you could have spent learning a new skill, or reading a book, or getting some exercise. What's an activity in your life where the hidden cost of your time is actually pretty high? All right, on to our final tool. And this one's a really good one because it exposes a common thinking error that, let's be honest, pretty much all of us make. I like to call it the trap of percentages. Okay, let's think this through together. You're about to buy a clock for $20, but you find out you can drive 20 minutes across town and get it for $10. Most of us would say, yeah, let's go. Now, what if you're buying a laptop for $2,510 and the store across town has it for $2,500? The saving is exactly the same, $10. But a lot of people would say, nah, not worth the trip. Why?
The final tool in our kit is the cost-benefit principle. It's super simple and rational. You should do something only if the extra benefit you get is bigger than the extra cost you pay. In our example, the cost, that 20-minute drive, is the same in both cases, and the benefit is also the same, $10.
And here's the trap. Our brains, well, they don't always think in absolute dollars. They get tricked by percentages. Saving $10 on a $20 item is a 50% discount. That feels amazing. But saving $10 on a $2,000 item is a tiny fraction of a percent, and it feels insignificant. But think about it. $10 is $10. The benefit is identical. A purely rational thinker would make the exact same decision in both cases. But we often don't.
So there you have it, your starter toolkit for becoming an economic detective. First, always look for the hidden logic of standardization. Second, understand how what customers want shapes the entire market. Third, remember to calculate the real price by thinking about opportunity costs. And finally, use that cost-benefit principle and focus on absolute value, not just those catchy percentages.
I really want to leave you with this final thought, because this is the core habit of economic thinking. The next time you see something that makes you scratch your head, don't just dismiss it. Put on your detective hat, use these tools, and ask that question. What hidden logic am I not seeing? I promise you'll be amazed at what you discover.
Join Beyond Norm Knowledge Workshop to master English and stay ahead in your career.